Hey guys, Coach Gaglione from GaglioneStrength.com. We've got Gina Aversa here, very high level female powerlifter. We're talking about bench press arch today. So I'm sure you get a lot of questions, you get a lot of YouTube, Instagram comments. Are you gonna break your back? Are you gonna die? So you're still living, it looks like, right? So
far my spine's in perfectly healthy shape, so
we're still here, so
yeah.
Cool. So one thing that's really important when talking about the bench press is your spine is not directly under load. So having an arch is totally okay. But the caveat to that is what we're doing when we're trying to arch, we're trying to get the range of motion from our upper back and our hips. The low back is going to be put in a little bit of extension, but the natural curve of your low back is in a little bit of extension, so it's totally okay. So again, range of motion coming from thoracic spine, upper back, and hips. So we're not intentionally trying to crank on our low back, okay? And again, it's not under load, so it is okay, and you will not die if you arch in the bench press. So why do you actually want to arch in a bench press in the first place? What are you actually trying to do when you're setting up for a bench?
Well, the main goal obviously is to reduce the range of motion. So clearly the objective in the sport is to move the most weight. So the shorter your range of motion, theoretically, the more weight you can move. So that would be the main reason. But also shoulder stability and just having thoracic extension in general, as opposed to like a very large arch, is gonna play a role too.
Cool. So we're gonna just look at Gina. Just lie down on the bench with your feet up first. And just pretend like you're benching here. So you can see like she's gonna go through a lot more shoulder rotation with the flat back. Now just pull your chest up and you can put your legs on the floor. So she's gonna be touching like a lot higher, right? So she's gonna go through a lot less shoulder rotation. So if you do have some shoulder actually issues, benching with an arch can be really beneficial because you're not going through as much range of motion. You're not gonna get put in this really cruddy position in the bottom, okay? So we're gonna go through some drills now of how you can actually improve your arch. So first we're gonna work on upper back. So Gina's gonna come on the floor over here and we're gonna put our elbows on the bench. Palms up. Okay, sitting back on the heels. And the reason we're gonna sit back on the heels to start is it's gonna put our lumbar in kind of a locked position. You could even put a foam roller in there if you want and create some tension. And she's gonna round her back to start. So start round, and then go into extension here and just try to let it drop. Good. And around, and arch. And we could do a bunch of reps here. And hold. Round, and arch. So we're gonna, again, getting more extension in the upper back, not the lower back. Okay, so let's do one more. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and just try and stretch here. How's that feel?
Feels nice.
Good, there we go, cool. So that's a T-spine extension drill you could do, okay? Now we're gonna work on hip extension. Okay, so we're getting range of motion at the hips. So what's great thing about when you're benching is you got a bench right here, right? So we're gonna use the bench for the T-spine extension and also the hip extension. So we're gonna do a hip flexor stretch on the bench. You can face this way and just put one knee on the bench. So normally there might be some sort of platform or something here, but we can just put our other foot here and just try and scoot this leg down. And then bring our arms overhead and squeeze in the glutes here. So we're getting some range of motion at the hip here. So a lot of times there might be some sort of platform here. And we can just hold this stretch for time. And relax. And then we can do the other side. So again, we want to try and get nice and tall here. We want to try and minimize the range of motion in the lower back and get more of the range of motion in the front of the hip. We're trying to squeeze the glutes, get nice and tall. And relax. Cool. So what are some other things that you've done in the past to kind of just help get a more comfortable arch as well?
I've used like a foam roller before to kind of like I put it under my thoracic spine and just kind of hang out there. I don't foam roll my spine, definitely don't do that.
Yeah,
but I'll just kind of like hang out in that position, just to kind of teach myself to like rotate my shoulders back and hold my shoulders down in that position. I'll do band pull aparts.
Cool. So yeah, so the biggest things that you want to do is you want to mobilize upper back, you want to mobilize hips, and I think another point that's really important is you need to be strong in your back too, so you can hold those positions. Okay. So Gina was talking about doing things like rows. Okay. And band pull apart, so pulling a band apart, rowing with bands. So you could work on keeping your chest up, because a lot of times, especially with females, when they miss, their shoulders kind of come untucked here. So it's not just a mobility thing, but it's also a strength issue too. So if you're stronger in your upper back, it's going to take some stress off that low back and make that bench press arch that much safer. Okay, so so arching is safe. Arching is beneficial. It's going to minimize shoulder rotation. It's going to allow a more safer, efficient bench press. Okay, and if you do use these tips, you could increase your bench press arch today and start benching more weight today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out the links below. If this content helped you, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.